Looks like I'm here. I'm live and ready to go. Levels of Madness. How you doing today? So I've got a roll here of 1943S Lincoln Cents that I've never been through. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. I've got 50 names right here. I don't have the 51st chip in there because I don't have an original wrapper to give away. All I have is this tube, and, well, if you want the tube, I'll send it to you. Hey, Coin Junkie. Alright, just making sure I've got everything working here. Does everybody hear me okay? Hello, Jeremy Johnson. Paul Hampton, I'm just making sure that I can be heard. Somebody give me a thumbs up that they can hear me. Jeremy, I don't have any spots left there. The spots have been gone for a while now. You had to turn up the volume to hear me? That's not good. Let's see if I've got... I don't think there's any difference between what I'm doing here and what you could hear. Hello, Mr. Dowdle. Okay. I've got 50 names here. I'm going to count them out one more time just to be sure. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. That's half of them. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, and 50. 50 names, 50 coins. Keep having to dig for my bag. Alright, here it is, the moment we've all been waiting for. I certainly hope these are really good coins. Now, with 1943, it is important to note that those coins were not very well minted, and they changed very easily. There have been a number of BU rolls that I have opened that have slight spotting on the coins. Let's hope that's not the case this time. Hello, Victoria. As I said, the top coin in the roll is real nice. So I'm hoping the rest of the coins are nice. I have not looked inside this roll. We're going to pour them out just in the order that they came in the tube. And as with every other time I've done this, I'm going to start on the left side and go toward the right side. And so I'm ready to get started. Let's see who gets the first coin in the roll. Hello, Arizona Coins. Vicky. Vicky Cardwell gets the first one. Let's see what it is. There's a few small spots on it here and there. I don't see a repunch. Ooh, yuck. The back of the coin looked fine. Oh, that's not good. It's definitely not a good start. Here's the back of the coin. And no doubling or anything going on there. Let me get my flip inserts ready. Okay, here we go. That was coin number 1. Flip them back around this way. There we go. And there's coin number 1. Didn't find anything special on that one. Let's pick for coin number 2. Wild Bill. Let's see what's on coin number 2. looking especially hard for the more minor repunchment marks. There are some more minor ones. There's also a lot of issue with the design dragging out onto the from the die, because you're striking steel coins with a steel die. Tends to be problematic. Okay, I don't see anything on the obverse on this one. Hello, Penny Parent. Not seeing anything specific on the reverse either. So far we're 0 for 2. I mean, the coins are decent coins. There's nothing really wrong with the coins. It's when you get them underneath heavy magnification, you start seeing a lot of things that you wouldn't see otherwise. Okay, this one looks okay too. Coin number 3. We'll go to Bingo Brian. Let's see what we have in here. A nice die crack running all the way across the vest, jacket, or coat, whichever you want to call it. Not seeing any hub doubling on the obverse though. I'm looking mainly for doubled eyelids. I'm looking for doubling in the 1 and the 9 of the date. I'm looking for repunchment marks. And I'm looking what about last comment? Okay, Brian Waddell. This is an original coin. It's an original roll review. And it's a reveal of coins that have been purchased prior to the roll being opened. So this is coin number 3 in the roll. We're still toward the beginning of the roll. There's nothing special on this coin, but a person by the name of Bingo Brian purchased this coin prior to this reveal for the chance that we may end up running into double dies, repunchment marks, or other special coins. So I got 50 names in here. You can only see a blue box. I don't know. Madding gets the next one. It's coin number 4. And Madding's coin, has spots on it. Darn it. I'm not seeing any hub doubling here either. A die crack eyebrow on a 2019 D penny. They're probably so. 2019 pennies are riddled with die cracks. They're everywhere. Don't see any doubling on this coin either. Turning out to be an average roll. Let's see. Okay, what? Madden gets that one. All right. Mr. Marlar gets the next one. Coin number 5. Still got spotting. No RPM. Yeah, this is S mint mark. That's not a D, that's an S. Flip it over and see what's on the reverse. Hello, Mr. Dunn. I'll go back and check, but I don't think it was a D. That's an S. That's an S. Let's see. That's an S. All of these have been S mint marks. No D mint marks so far. And that's an S. That's coin 1, 2, 3, and 4. And this was coin 5, and it was an S mint mark and belongs to Benjamin Marler. Alright, let me draw for coin number 6. Quads. Well, that's an S mint mark too. Let's see what we've got on here. Well, I'm not seeing anything special anyway. It's kind of hard to tell at this. Let me zoom in a little more and see if there's doubling on that upper serif. Could have some doubling on it. No, that's not doubling on the serif. It's a little spot. Okay, we'll draw back out. Hello, Bingo Brian. So far we haven't had a whole lot of luck. Flip this one over and take a look at the reverse. Nothing doubled there. We've not found anything so far. Now the double dies and repunch mint marks are difficult to find for 1943S. I'm not gonna lie to you there. Oops, that's quads coin. I gotta get my stuff together here. Make sure I'm doing this right. All right. Next one, Wild Bill. Okay. There we have a minor class 6 double die obverse. You have an extra fat tail to the 9 of the date. And it appears there could be a repunch mint mark going on here. Let me zoom in on it. Really hard to get this thing focused. Let me flip it around to see what I can see with the mint mark itself here. No, it doesn't appear to be double, but that 9 is extra thick. That is a class 6 double die. So that will be one. Let's see if we continue with the, yeah, see the convex outer edges to the B and the E, the IBE of Liberty. It looks like someone's pulling on the ends of it toward the rim. That's another sign that you have a class 6 double die. And it should be happening, yep, to the E of we as well. See if we have any doubling on the eyelid or the ear, nothing there. But we do have a class 6 double die obverse. Let's see what we have on the reverse. Well, I'm not seeing anything here so far. So, well, Bill gets himself, looks like about an MS63, 64 coin. Double die obverse. I'll set this aside. Go to the next coin. Raymond. Raymond gets the next coin. And this one appears to be the same as Wild Bill's, except that it has some spotting. But it is a class 6 double die obverse. Hello, Alistair. So this is the second double die obverse that we found in this roll. I believe it's the same die as the other one. There's a die dent right there where the field raises up behind the LU of pluribus. Those two letters are shallower than the other letters around them. That is a marker. That's something that can be used to determine that the reverse die, anyway, matches another coin that we would find with that reverse die. Let's see if I can find any markers on this one on the obverse. Steel cents are very difficult for markers. There's a marker right there. Die crack. See if I can get it really well. Runs from the fold in the coat all the way across to the D of VDB. Okay. That's what I show on that one. Let's take a look at the reverse real quick. Let's see what we find on the reverse. Oh, I've already looked at the reverse. There's the marker. Okay. This one is Raymond's. Let's take a quick peek at the reverse on Wild Bill's coin to see if we have the same marker. And we do. Same marker. The LU has field polishing that raises the field up and makes the letters shallower. So we definitely have the same die twice now. The next coin will go to Mr. Dunn. Mr. Dunn's in the audience, I do believe. Let's see what we have for Mr. Dunn. Oof. The spots, people, the spots. Not quite okay with that. Trying to see if we have a repunchment mark going on here. It does have something on top of the S, it appears. Let me zoom in on this and see. That's really hard to tell. Right there. No, that's not doubled. That's just a really tall serif point right there on the top of the mint mark. All right. So we pulled ourselves out a normal coin. Probably midnight silver run. Oh, need to look at the reverse. Oh, why am I in such a hurry? Ooh, this one's got some. There's a die scratch coming out of the tail of the wheat. There's a bunch of raised spots on the coin. And those raised spots are a lot like the bubbles that you see on the early zinc cents. They're gas bubbles that get trapped underneath the skin, because the coin itself is steel, but the skin is zinc, and it's very, very highly reactive to environmental conditions. And that is part of why we have spots on some of these coins. All right, and Mr. Dunn. Yeah, tired. Got one for Vicky. Vicky gets a double die. That should be the same die as the other two I've already seen. It appears as though it is. Minor class 6 double die obverse. Yeah, I breathe and eat cents. They taste really good with milk on them. Okay, I'm looking for a marker, a distinguishable marker that I can use on the obverse, and it appears as though I've got a die scratch pointing straight out of the forehead. Two of them, actually. Let me go to one of the other coins and see if I can see that die scratch. pointing out of the forehead. Yeah, it's there. There's two of them. There's one kind of pointing up to the S in trust, and then one lower than that that's pointing toward the T of trust. One gets in on this by attending our Tuesday evening auctions. And Tuesday evening auction, at the end of the auction, I sell spots for that week's roll reveal coins. And basically a spot is a coin. When you buy a spot, you're buying a coin. You're buying a coin that comes out at random interval from the roll by how I draw them out of this bag. So for instance, I sell all 50 coins. Then I got 50 names inside the bag. I got 50 coins here, 50 flips there. So I draw a name. We're on coin 11 right now. Levels of Madness gets this one. Then I put the next coin in the roll underneath the microscope, and we take a look and see what it has on it. We're hoping that it's going to have something really nice and really fantastic, and if it doesn't, that's just the luck of the draw. That's just how we roll. No pun intended. So at the end of the Tuesday evening auctions is when we get these roll reveals out and get spots sold for them. Often the spots for roll reveals are $1 or less, depending on what kind of roll I pulled out. This one is a special roll. These were more expensive. But a lot of the times we'll go through a 1960D roll and look for repunch mint marks for $1 a coin. We'll look for 1955D repunch mint marks at some point in doubled dies, and we'll be doing those for less than $5 a coin. This was not a doubled die, so it's going to be a normal coin. Moving on to the next one. Wild Bill. See what Wild Bill turns up here. Wild Bill gets himself a second double die. Should be the same die. Let's check for the die scratch coming out of the forehead, and there it is. There's two die scratches coming out of the forehead. There's one that leans kind of up and one that leans more straight out. Right out of the forehead. And so there's your marker, and here's your doubling. You can see it's kind of a teardrop concave shape to the outside edges of the letters in Liberty. And that is the distension spreading across the surface of the die. You can also see it in the tail of the 9. The tail of the 9, right here. That it's extra thick. It's thicker than it should be. And you can also see it in the R, and the ball in the bottom of the R is extra thick. See how the E kind of curves up and points back up toward the rim? Not supposed to do that. We'll see it on one of the normal coins. When a normal coin pops back out, we can see the difference. But this one is a double die obverse. Let's check the reverse real quick. A few minor spots. Otherwise, a nice double die obverse coin with a normal reverse. So, put that one in a flip. That's coin number 12, belongs to Wild Bill. Well, Bill now has himself 2 of these double dies. Bingo gets the next one. Let's see what we got. Okay, here we have a normal coin. This one looks like it's got a fingerprint on it. Okay, that's kind of icky, but we can at least use this as an example and show that the R does not have a round ball at the bottom of it. The E doesn't point back up toward the rim. You don't have the convex shape to the outside of the IBE in Liberty. And you don't have the extra thickness to the tail of the 9. My camera keeps coming in and out. We'll work with it. Best we can do. Nothing I can do to solve it right now. And we've got no doubling on the reverse. And doubling on the reverse would be, I'm looking for extra pieces to the CEN of Cent or the TED of United to show for centered class 4 hub doubling, which can be found on these. I'm also looking for extra thickness toward the rim and egg-shaped dots in E pluribus unum. That'll also show me signs of doubling. I'm also looking for doubled lines in the wheat stalks or doubled stems in the wheat stalks. None of that exists with this coin. So we have a normal reverse. And that's Bingo's coin. Let's draw for coin number 14 and see what happens. Coin number 14 will be Levels of Madness. And Levels of Madness draws. Let me get this in a little bit better focus. There we go. It's bothering me just a little bit that it was slightly out of focus. Now in the obverse, folks, I'm looking for doubled eyelids. Substantial doubling inside the area where the eyeball is. I'm looking for class 6 double die obverses, which would be well curved outside edges to the IBE of Liberty. An extra thickness in the tail of the 9. I'm also looking for repunchment marks. The microscope I'm using is a Dynoscope. Dynoscopes are not inexpensive, but they're also very nice. I've finally got some of the kinks and quirks worked out of this one so that it works really well for me. See, there's a nice marker for something else, but not for a double die or a repunchment mark because we don't have one here. But you got a really nice die scratch running north and south through the center of the upper reverse. That's actually a die scrape, and that scrape is probably related to this, which is a eject arm that came across the die and scraped the die, put a scratch into the die, and it actually stands out on the coin. Got no other doubling on this one. I want to find all the different 43S. Now this isn't 43D. This is 43S. We're going through an S-mint roll. Oh, that was levels. Levels of Madness on that one. Draw for coin number 15. Also Levels of Madness. And Levels pulls himself a double die. I'm going to check that S mint mark after I get done, because every one of these so far has had an extra line on the outside of the upper serif. I'm thinking that could be a repunch mint mark. Got a few spots here and there on this one, but you can see now that R, the ball on the right side of the R is extra thick. You've got the E is, the bottom of the E swings back up toward the rim. You've got concave shapes on the outside of the LIBE of Liberty. The IBE is extra thick toward the rim. You've got the thickness in the bottom of the 9. And on the reverse, we have our flat leveling under the LU. It's kind of hard to show. There, you can see it there, where the LU are shallower than the P and the R. That was one of the markers I picked out for this particular die. If we look at the obverse again, we'll be able to see the markers on the forehead. Got 2 die scratches popping out of the forehead. 1 and 2. I need a PV pointer. Okay, so we have another example of this double die. This is 5 for the roll so far. And Levels of Madness gets this one. I pin a value of MS63 on this at probably around $20, $15 to $20. Bingo gets the next one. Let's see what happens. Bingo pulls himself a normal coin. Yep. See how the IBE are of normal thickness and the edges are almost straight up and down? Then you look at the E and we and it looks more or less normal. This one you've got a die crack running through the hair. The die scratches on the forehead are not present because it's a different die. But we do have what appears could be a doubled eyelid. Could be. Let me get this thing turned around so that the lighting is just right. Having a hard time getting the lighting adjusted here. See, it looks like there could be an extra eyeball with that extra doubled eyelid sticking straight up and out. I'll have to take a closer look at it with my loupe. Once I get it from under the scope, I can take a better look and know exactly what I'm looking at. Been doing this for a little while. Now that color is actually a slight lack of luster on the coin. That just happens through storage. All the little scrapes and marks that you see, I guarantee, are not into the surface of the coin. It's just that luster. I'm going to go with not a doubled eyelid on that. I thought it could be. So we have another normal coin. Yes, there are a lot of doubled eyelids for this date, and I don't seem to be running into any of them. A little frustrating. I figured this roll would be like laden full of stuff. Well, let's try again, Bingo. Let's see what happens. Figured this roll would be full of it. Nothing that I see on the mint mark right now. Nothing on the eyelid. Not seeing anything on the obverse on this one. Yeah, we've already sold through the entire roll, Cherie. It doesn't take long for rolls like this to go. Yeah, and we don't have anything on that side either. So we do have a relatively nice 1943 S brilliant uncirculated Lincoln cent. I will also let you know that those of you watching, I've seen comments made before about the hands and no gloves. I don't wear gloves because I can't handle the coins easily without gloves on. So what I do instead is I wash my hands until they are bone dry. There's no oils or anything on my hands while I'm doing this. They're as dry as they could possibly be. Madding gets the next coin. And I have been doing this for many, many years and have never had a problem with coins getting oils or grease on them that turns any color. I've been doing this for a long time. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's a little scratch. Darn it. Okay, this right here is struck through grease. This is what a struck through grease looks like on a wheat cent. You have kind of a flattened down, almost polished looking area, and then you've got a bunch of little line areas, little liney things coming into it. This is struck through grease. This is not damage to the coin. And there's also a struck through right there. Not exactly sure what that is, actually. Looks almost like a lamination of some sort. Well, that's kind of cute. It goes all the way over the rim. Oh, hey, Wild Bill. You missed, what? How many double dies do you have so far? 1, 2. You've got 2 of them. We'll find another one in the roll. I'll just keep moving along. If we don't at the end, I'll show it to you. Class 6 double die obverse. There's more grease right there. This is not plating. It's not anything that the mint didn't do, but it will affect the overall eye appeal of the coin for grading. It just gets really rough in the fields. That's a grease struck through. Get the reverse on this one. I was kind of hoping we'd run into some double die reverses too. I've got some pretty nice double die reverses on 1943 S Lincolns. They don't seem to be all that hard to find when you go to a show and cherry pick them from a dealer, but they're really hard to find when you come in to rolls. A nice little die crack running at the top of the left wheat below the E of E pluribus unum. Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. Eastern Time, this channel has an auction. At the end of the auction, I tell you what rolls I'll be opening that week and give everybody a chance to opt in to purchase spots in those rolls. This is Bingo Brian. Bingo Brian got himself a double die right there. That's the same double die that I've been pulling for other people. There's extra thickness in the bottom of the 9. There's 2 die scratches coming out of the forehead. You have extra thickness and concave edges to the IBE of Liberty. You have a concave inside to the E of We. These are some weak strikes. And you have a big round ball for a bottom of an R instead of a line. Now on the reverse, we have a platform, a raised platform of the rim under the LU of pluribus that shows us this is the same reverse die we've already seen. For this particular double die obverse, it will be a marker, a reverse marker for the double die obverse. I'm looking around for other markers on the reverse, and I don't really see much. I don't really see a whole lot of. There's a lot of these little pickle marks, these little dots that are raised on the coin. But yeah, be really careful about using those as markers on a steel cent, because steel cents tend to develop these things individually by the planchet. It's kind of like the plating on zinc cents, how it gets bubbly on one coin, and on the very next coin, it's not bubbly. So Bingo Brian got himself a double die obverse. I'm kind of excited for all this, even though the coins aren't in the best condition. We're getting a lot of people have a double die obverse to take away from it. Let's take a look at Quad's coin is next. And here we appear to have almost a filled mint mark. It is an S mint mark, but it is almost filled. We have otherwise a normal coin that does not appear to have any doubling. A few spots here and there. Kind of typical for 1943s. That's correct, Cherie. Wow, this is kind of ugly. Oof. Sorry about that, Quads. That one didn't turn out so nice. All right, coin number 21. Go to Vicky Cardwell. And let's see what's on coin number 21. We got some of those little warts on this one. And it looks like we could have a split in the upper serif. We'll take a better look at that. We'll zoom in. Yeah, hard to tell. You see how the mint mark is filled. That's just kind of normal for 1943S. No, we don't have doubling at the upper serif. I was thinking there might be doubling up there, but I was wrong. 'Cause I'm wrong frequently. I just usually get it right before I put it out in public. But since this is live, I can't really have that opportunity. So you're going to see how wrong I can be. Oof, got some spots on this one, along with the warts. Select BU coin. Unfortunately, it's not going to come out to have much value. That's the hard part. I don't like to swallow that. MD on the 4, let me take a look. Yeah, that is die wear basically. And it happens and it flattens out the 4. You can see how the 4 is starting to become flat as the mint mark is. It's that area. It's kind of like so far in from the rim going all the way around, you get weakness. And that weakness eventually on the coins will actually make the 4 disappear. And a lot of people think that's some kind of error or something, but it's actually a normal part of the process of minting steel cents. It's just die wear. Yep, we got Lincoln Pox too. We got the earliest form of Lincoln Pox. We've got the ones in the zinc coating on a steel scent rather than the copper coating on a zinc scent. Let's take a look at the next one for Wild Bill. Coins look nice and shiny when I'm just looking at them. Wild Bill gets himself a normal coin out of this. I was kind of hoping for some RPMs. I will take a good close look at all these coins prior to releasing them to the mail to be sure that I haven't missed anything in this, well, I'm going to say inexperienced version of looking through a digital microscope. I'm used to looking through a regular eyeball microscope with regular eyeball lenses, and I can see so much more detail that way. And this way makes it a little more difficult for me to discern some of the minor things that I might pick up under a microscope. So the next one will be for Bingo Brian. Bingo got himself 10 slots in this particular roll. Oh, he looks like he picks up a normal coin this time. No, kind of looking at the bottom of the 4. Nah, that's normal thickness, so it's not going to be doubling. But I do see a little separation on the bottom of the 4 that's probably just a little bit of machine doubling. Well, let's look at the eye and see what we get. The eyes have it, and there's nothing there. And the LIB is normal. In God We Trust appears normal. Gonna give me a big nope on that. See, soon enough, after watching enough of these, you'll be able to pick out the varieties for yourself before I even mention them. A slightly weak strike on this one, as is evidenced by the fact that the top half of the O is very weak. You'll also see weakness sometimes in some of the letters in United States of America. That happens because United States of America is directly opposite Lincoln's ear. And given that it's directly opposite Lincoln's ear, there's a lot of metal to fill on that side. And sometimes on a weaker strike, you're not going to fill all the metal on the reverse side. Given that, you're going to end up with weak letters. Next one. We're going to Levels of Madness. Let's give Levels another chance at a... Did he already get one? Yeah, Levels already got one of the double dice. Yep. We have a relatively normal coin here too. See those stripes that run straight across the planchet? That have to do with... it's almost kind of like a wood grain effect on steels. And it does happen, I do see it, on occasion where you get bright silver areas and then you get areas that turn more of a battleshipy gray color. And those stripes have nothing to do with the strike on the coin, because you can see obviously it runs directly straight over every detail. See, there's more of it right there. It's kind of, now that's a scrape on the coin right there, above the T. But this thing out here, the straight line that goes all the way from the neck out to the rim, that's what I kind of assimilate to being wood grain on a steel cent. Same thing's happening here. There's actually a die crack right there. It runs across the bust, right here, all the way over to here. You can see the die was cracking quite well. Some of it could be part of the steel, the makeup of the steel. But remember, you've got a zinc plating on these. The outside edge, the outside of the design on everything here should be zinc. That's why when you get wear on these coins, you wear through the zinc and the steel starts to turn like a deeper brown gray color. Draw for coin number 25. Bingo gets this one. Let's see what Bingo gets. Another double die. There you go. I'm gonna probably, I don't know. I'm gonna really look at it closely, but I'm gonna call right now. potential RPM on these, because I have seen this extra little line next to the upper serif on every single one of them we've seen so far. But this is a double die. We do have some spotting, but you can see that it has a really nice extra thickness and concave edges to the LIBE. You've got the concave inside to the E and W. You've got the extra thick R. You've got the 2 die scratches that come out of the... You got a shorter, stronger one and a longer, thinner one that come right out of the forehead. On the reverse, we should have that platform above the LU, and we do, but we've also got spots on the reverse on this one. I found another marker while I was looking earlier, and then I forgot about it, but there's a die scratch running northeast out of the T in cent. So, bingo, you got yourself another example of the double die. It doesn't surprise me you got 10 coins in this roll. We're at better than a 1 in 10 odds, because we've got 6 of them now. We've only been through 26. That's 12 in the roll. Mr. Dowdle. Let's see what Mr. Dowdle gets. We have a filled mint mark with that little bit of machine doubling outside the edge of the 4. Let's take a really close look at that. Let's prove that it's machine doubling instead of just making an assumption. See how it's just really shiny? There's not really any step there. There's not really any notching. There's not really any liveliness to that little bit of what we would call doubling. You back out and it looks like doubling. You zoom in and you can see it's just flow lines. There's nothing really there. It only happens on the 4 for some reason. It just has to be that it's just that distance away from the rim. That'll happen on the 4 and the mint mark on S and D mint coins. And that's also part of why this particular coin shows a filled mint mark. It's because it's already starting to wear down on the mint mark. And that's die wear, that's not coin wear. There's die crack running across the coat. Looks like... I'll have to check that. This looks like it could be an incomplete punch. Maybe not. That may be a scrape. I check it to the diameter of a coin, and if it's an 18 millimeter diameter, I get really... I look at it real close. Let's just put it that way. Nice die crack in the hair right there. It does not appear to be a doubled eyelid. Let's look at the reverse. Scrape on the reverse right there. We have a little bit of toning going on. It's turning kind of a goldish color. There's a number of die scratches and other little die marks on the reverse, but we've got no double die. So we'll take Mr. Dowdle's coin. Interesting piece. And we'll move on to the next one. Coin number 27 will belong to Levels of Madness. Let's see what Levels of Madness pulls out of the roll. He's already got a double die, and he's got another one right here. There's another Class 6 double die obverse. I know I've asked you before, but I can't remember what I'm trying to pronounce when I see DYBRN soda. Dye brown soda? I'm not sure what I'm looking at there, but I appreciate your comment. I'm trying to figure out what your name is so I can tell you directly. Okay, this is another one of those that has that, see that line outside the S just kind of intrigues me. But you've got your die scratches coming out of the forehead, just like on the other. Burn, die burn soda. Here's your platform under the LU. where you lose a lot of the level of the field. So definitely the same die as the others. Folks, there's no question this is an original roll. We've now come out with 7 examples of the same double die. That's Levels of Madness. Now for coin number 28. Die Burned Soda. Well, now I know who you are. Welcome to the thread. Bingo! Let's see what Bingo gets. What do you know? Bingo comes out with another double die here. You got another one. This is nuts. Got a whole bunch of the same die in here, and this is a good one too. I mean, it's kind of minor, but it still has value. There's your 2 die scratches. You can see them right there. You can see one above the other. They make kind of a V shape out of the front of the forehead. All right, we're going to look for our platform, and there it is. Got the platform under the LU. Got some spotting here and there. There's should be the die scratch coming out of the T. There it is. So we know very well that this is the same die, and we're running into it over and over and over again. So when I go into taking photographs of something like this, I know exactly what I'm looking for before I really get looking for it because, well, I've already seen it a number of times. And as I'm going through the roll, I'm looking for the same die over and over again to be sure. Die Brown Soda, I do believe that could be a repunchment mark, but I can't tell easily, so we're going to have to come back to it after I finish. Okay, see, this is a die I don't think I've seen before because I would have noticed that big old die scratch out from the S. So I'm going to take a nice close look at this. It is not a repunchment mark. It does not. Well, it does appear that it could be a double die. I see that lighter spot out in front of the lower eyelid. That is the part facing the light, and the darker spot is the part facing the upper eyelid, and it looks like a secondary eyelid. So I'm thinking this could be a doubled eyelid. Let me flip it around and see if that effect reverses itself. If it does, then we know we've got something raised. We do. Because now you can see the bottom of it's lit and the top of it is dark. So this appears to be a doubled eyelid. Check the T and trust. Sometimes it has doubling on the side of the T and trust when you have a doubled eyelid. I'll have to check this one closer, but it does appear that it's a doubled eyelid. It's not the most major doubled eyelid you've ever seen, but it does appear to be one. It's got a pretty nice spread to it, too. See if I can get it to show up real well. It doesn't seem to want to show up. There's the best I can get it right there. Got ourselves a nice die crack running across the head. That's a good marker for this. The die crack runs out into the field, almost reaching the in of the motto. Got nothing else on this one that I can see. But our marker for this, our main marker for this, will be that heavy die gouge outside the S of, or outside the mint mark, toward the rim. Alright, let's see what else we have here. Do we have a double die reverse? No, we don't. So look at that. There's heavy die gouge in the RIC of America. We have a die crack running from the rim through the wheat, through the 2 A's of America and States. We got a whole host of markers to work with from this one if it does turn out to be a double die. There's a die crack running through the upper left wheat all the way to the rim. I didn't say what name. What are we talking about? Bingo? I didn't say a name. Benjamin Marler? Did I not say Benjamin Marler before I got into this coin? Well, it is Benjamin Marler's coin. It's coin number 29 in the roll. And there's Ben's name. Stick it in there with the coin. That's coin number 29. Coin number 30. Okay, thank you. Coin number 30 is Levels of Madness. Levels of Madness gets a... Well, I'm going to reserve comment for right now and see what I can find on this. I'm going to have to zoom in. And you can see the die wear on that one, how it's really showing up on the 4. The 4 is a lot shallower than the 1, 9, and 3. All right. Let me take a good close look at this mint mark because it looks a little strange. It could be just the process of the die wearing down, but it also appears that it could be a repunch mint mark. Could be. Hey, looky there. Looks like we have a doubled upper serif. That's what it looks like to me. I'm going to have to give that a really nice close look. I'm going to set this one aside. Levels of Madness may actually have a repunch mint mark going on here. Let's see. Wow. These are not marks in the coin, believe it or not. This is how the coin was struck. Right here. I need to shut down my... Oh, hang on. My wife is telling me she's working late. Hang on a second. When the wife calls, you stop everything. There we go. All right. Now, what I was getting to. This is actually a form of die wear, or actually it's like struck through grease almost. It's struck through something down there because that is not damage to the coin. And see, there's some more of it. Like between the 4 and the 3 and above the 3, and there's 2 more and then 1 more up there. Those are actually something that happened to the die or to the planchet, one or the other, as a result of striking steel coins with steel dies. Nah, Chucky's never in trouble. He's not in trouble. I'm a good boy. Most of the time. See, this one's got a die crack running from the rim up to the E. And it looks like it's got right under the dot. If you look toward the E from the dot, you'll see a raised straight area. Looks like it has feeder finger scrape on the die. Let's flip it around and see if we can see it better and if it's any longer. Yeah, not really. It's there. It's just really minor. Some other die scratches, die cracks. Boy, 1943 must have been a horrid year for trying to... See, there's more of that stuff right there. And it's parallel to the flow lines. It shows up right next to and in between different... There's another one right there. It matches the flow lines. It's parallel to the flow lines in the area. And it's right up against devices, just like this right here. It's right up against the devices. That's not damage to the coin. That's just how it was struck. And there's no, what does he call it? Fairings? Somebody will correct me on that. Here's another feeder finger scrape right there. Straight line that basically polishes the die because it's scraping the die. There's another part of it right there. So it's pretty long. And then the die mints the coins, subsequent coins, with that same mark in it. Now this is a relatively nice shiny coin, but it wouldn't appear to so under a microscope because we're putting it under... I'm going to stick this one aside and take a look at it for a repunch mint mark possibility. All right. Next coin. I've already put it up there, but we're going to draw to find out who it belongs to. I think this is the first one I've drawn for Copper Kingdom. What do we have? You can see some of the stripes from the... it could be impurities in plating. It could be a wheel and how it ran. But you can see that it goes right through all the lettering. It's not damage to the coin. This is just part of the planchet. Now, it wasn't repunch mint mark, was it? Well, now I've lost. I'm going to have to go back and watch the video. So I had a doubled eyelid done up. I'm not sure that I left it laying out. Or I had what I thought was a doubled eyelid. Then I had what I thought was a repunch mint mark. There's nothing on the reverse on that one. Oh, this coin does appear to be a nice clean grade. And that's coin number 31 to Copper Kingdom. Coin number 32 will go to Bingo. Another double die. Bam, bam, bam. See how the flow lines here look extremely thick? And you can see all these little marks headed toward the rim. You're probably going to have some on this side too. There's one below the N. This just has to do with the way that the coin was minted. That's another double die right there. You can see that extra line on the S. You can see the extra thickness on the bottom of the 9. You can see the concave and extra thickness edges to the IBE of Liberty. Same thing with the E of We. And the right leg of the R of Trust is very round and very large. And you've got 2 die scratches coming out of the forehead. There they are. There's 1, 2. In a V shape. And we're going to look for our platform here on the reverse, and it should be there. There's our platform. Under the LU, where the die was over polished. And we have spots. Okay, there's 2 die scratches under the CA of America. There's another die scratch coming up out of the T that appears to be parallel to these. So it's probably the same die scratching. But we do have another of the double dies for Bingo Brian. Yeah, I'll figure it out. One way or the other, I'm going to be going through all of these again anyhow. All right, the next one goes to Mr. Patat. And Mr. Patat will get spots, but he gets a double die. This is another one of the double die coins. It is kind of spotty though. Ooh. It's definitely that same die though. You can see your V-shaped die scratch right there in front of the forehead. Now the reverse of this one is nice and clean. Got some of your planchet striations here. But they ride right through the letters. No effect at all. That was definitely on the planchet prior to it being struck. And there's your platform that we look for. Another one of the double dies, but this one's not in the best condition. Unfortunately. What are we up to now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're up to 10, and we've got about 15 coins left to go. All right, Levels of Madness gets the next one. What does Levels of Madness get? If I can find it. This is what appears to be a normal coin. And it does have that strike issue going on. Stronger than in some of the other coins that we've seen. It'll be on this side too. Ooh, we got some spotting. And Again, the reverse looks nicer than the obverse. And we've got no hub doubling on the reverse. So we have another normal coin. Oops. Sorry, Levels. Gotta get your name in there. There we go. Alright, next will be Levels of Madness again. Alright, Levels, you're gonna do this one. What am I looking at? Exactly. You got it right. Not finding anything on this one. What about the reverse? Nothing there either. Unfortunately, we have another normal coin. Coin number 35 is out of the way. Coin number 36 comes up next, and it belongs to Levels of Madness. We're just having our personal little show right here, aren't we? Oh, let's see what we have. Okay, this is... Remember that. So this is the eyelid, and it is. Look at there. Appears to be a doubled eyelid. I'm going to have to go look under the scope to be sure. But I believe that is a doubled eyelid. We had nothing else on this particular die. There's a really nice marker right there, that die crack that runs off the back of the head toward the in and out of the front of the head. I saw it going up toward the R of trust. Nice. I'll set this aside. So that appears to be a double die obverse. Wow. We're getting a lot of stuff out of this roll. I just wish they'd stored it a little bit better. Alright. I'm going to set that aside and look at it. And Midnight gets the next one. Midnight Silver Run. Oh. Well, I'm kind of bummed. Ow. It's got some, it's like fingerprinty spots on it. A filled mint mark isn't necessarily going to be a weak strike. It can be. It can also be a damaged mint mark punch, but more than likely it's going to be die wear. That's coin number 37 for Midnight Silver Run. Coin number 38. Matting. See what Matting gets. Yeah. Appears to be a relatively nice coin. Oh, we have some immediate weakness in the rim right there. You see that? It's nice and sharp, and then it goes really weak, and then it goes nice and sharp again. That right there, folks, is a rim clip. And it's a clip planchet, but there's not enough of a clip for it to even affect the roundness of the coin. But there is a tiny, tiny rim clip there. Let's flip it over real quick and check the exact same spot on the reverse. And we have some weakness there too. I'm not copying you. I'm just stating that you're correct. Alright, do we have a doubled eyelid? Do we have anything else on here other than this little rim clip? Because the rim clip doesn't really add anything other than conversation value to the coin. It's not enough to really bring any kind of extra premium or anything to the coin. But there's your weakness on the lower rim, on the reverse rim. You can see it right there. Directly opposite, this is where the "We in God We Trust" is. Alright, well, so matting gets a minor rim clip on coin number 38. On to coin number 39. How do I highlight users' names in red? If they've got a wrench next to them, they're a moderator. Victoria gets the next one. Let's see what Victoria ends up with. This is her second coin. Okay, we've got that big giant scrape coming off the S toward the rim. Now what do we have? Dum, dum, dum. Doubled eyelid. Another doubled eyelid. I'm pretty sure this is doubled eyelid now. I've seen a few of them. Oh, okay. That's how you can do it. Yeah, type an @ sign. Okay. I was unsure what I was looking at there. Yep, it's got all the same markers. Yep, right there. Got the straight die scratch coming off the top of the design. So Victoria gets a doubled eyelid. When I see that enough times over, I can call the shot. I know that's a doubled eyelid. May not be all that wonderful of a doubled eyelid, but it is one. All right, Copper Kingdom. Tell you what, Bingo, once I get these photographed and listed on the website, you'll be able to see it. Double die. Double die obverse for Copper Kingdom. We have our 2 die scratches, the V-shaped die scratches running out of the forehead. We have our convexity to the E. We have our convexity to the IBE of Liberty. Extra thickness in the bottom of the tail of the 9. Is it 43S1D05? So it may already be listed. Awesome sauce. That is a penny parent statement there. Awesome sauce. So it could be number 7. Oh, my little shelf over here is getting full. Got a lot of them. Mr. Patat. Well, let's see if we can get one for him. Because I don't think Mr. Patat has come out with one yet. And this is a normal coin. Yep. Nice and strong strike on this one. Some pretty color starting up on this one. I've noticed these little flow lines right here in the center on a number of the coins that are probably related. See, here's another platform, but this one's different. It's up over the PLUR. And that's just from over polishing of the die or feeder finger scrape. And we got nothing going on this one. Decent coin though. Hey, Matting. You hate missing stuff. When we get done, I'll go back and show you your coin. I was like, you got at least one double die out of this, I do believe. Here's Copper Kingdom again. Coin number 42. Oh, and this one's going to turn out to be a mess. Big die crack. Oof. That's what the steel looks like inside, kind of a blue color. Let's see, here we have a soft rim going almost all the way around at the top. That is going to spell out that we have a weak strike. So when we go to the other side, we're going to see weakness in the O of 1. And the other side. And we have weakness in the O of 1. I'm not seeing anything else on this one that stands out. So we move on. And so we move on. All right. Coin number 43 will go to Madding. Well, Madding gets to watch one live. Ugh. Darn it. Couldn't have got one of his good coins during the live where he was here watching. But not going to do it with this coin. This one looks normal to me. Yep. All normal. Yeah, for sure. Well, it just means that, you know, we're not getting premium coins when we get the normal ones. And I like getting premium coins every single time, because I want all 50 coins to have premium value, and I want everyone to prosper. Just doesn't happen. Vicky Cardwell. And let's see what Vicky ends up with here. Not a double die. Kind of looking at that funky shape to the top of the S. That may have a serif issue. I'll catch it when I go back through, if it is anything. And if it's not, it really didn't show up well under the scope anyway, as being anything other than normal. Okay, got nothing on that side. That's coin number 44. 6 coins remain. Coin number 45 will be Midnight Silver Run. And looks like a normal coin. This is the one that's got the die crack going all the way across the vest. These turned out to be normal. Looks like we might have a rim clip at the top edge. If the O is relatively strong, I'm going to call it a rim clip on that. No, it's not. So it's probably part of the die scrape here. You can see the color shift next to the N. Got nothing on this one. Coin number 46 goes to Copper Kingdom. Let's see what we have. Well, looks like it's one of the normal coins. Oh, what's that? That's what you don't want to see, is when you have someone who has a job that has an extreme amount of care must be placed in the job in order for it to be done right. And you hear them say, oops. That's what you don't want to hear. For me, I see all kinds of stuff when I'm looking through this scope, and then I turn around and look at the other scope and everything seems to be gone. So I thought I saw maybe a doubled eye there, but I don't. It does look a little odd, but there's no doubling there, nothing discernible anyway. See what I thought might have been a doubled eye there? You can see almost the extra outline of an eye. It's just not there. I see that little line, that extra line around the front of the hair, and around the upper hair there, you see that white line that traces all the way around the hair. That is Hubry engraving, and that happened from the late 30s through about 1943. You got it here around the beard too. That's re-engraving on the hub. That's actually a retouching on the hub to make the edges of the letter, the edges of the bust come out sharper, so that they strike up better. You find these from roughly 1936-37 up through 1943. And it's like an outline around the entire bust. And it was actually someone took an engraving tool and went all the way around the edge of the hair on the, or all the way around the edge of the bust on the hub. Let me flip this one over. I haven't checked the reverse on this yet. Now, for me, it doesn't matter what the orientation of the design is. I'm not reading the design. I'm actually looking at the edges. I'm looking at the edges, the shapes. I'm looking at all the stuff without reading it. So it doesn't matter if it's upside down. Now, I put a double die under the scope and it's upside down and people want to turn their head around to look at it. I say, you don't need to do that. Just look at it. Oh, that's Copper Kingdom. 3 coins, folks. Nope, 4. We got 4 left. Bingo. Bingo gets... yeah, it looks like a normal coin. And it's a little spotty, too. The die gouge coming off the back of the head. That looks interesting. There's some little thing coming up off the top of the T. I'll have to get a good second look at that. No hub doubling on the reverse that I can see. And I will take another look at this for the T above the head. Die gouge. It's a little die gouge coming off the top of the T. It looked like it could be some form of doubling, but it's not. Coin number 48. They do look a little copperish on the screen. Mr. McBride. What do we get for Mr. McBride? They look a little copperish and sometimes a little bluish. And that's just how the it's a whitish sort of crust develops on the coins as they get old, as they age, as they're stored, and the way they're stored. I know you're seeing doubling on the bottom of the A's in States of America and the bottom of the T and the bottom of the E. That's machine doubling. Got nothing. Normal coin here. That was coin number 48 for Joe McBride. And if I were able to show you these coins with a little less magnification, you'd see that they look relatively good. I mean, they're not bad coins. I got 2 chips left. I'm going to pull this one right here out. Joe McBride. Nothing again. Got nothing again. Or what appears to be nothing. I'm going to have to go back through all these coins. Part of this brownish, yellowish color that you're seeing could be my lighting. Because we've got a silverish coin, it's reflecting directly off the silverish coin whatever color is coming from the light. So that could very well be what's going on there. Because if I turn the coin around or move it quickly, you can see that the colors change as I move the coin. Doesn't do it quite so much with copper because copper is red and it has a tendency, red has a tendency to take over the spectrum. It's one of those colors that's really kind of hard to get rid of once you've seen it. You see red, and that's all you see. Levels of Madness gets coin number 50 in the roll. Let's see what happens. Last coin in the roll, and we have... Oh, look at that. We've got our die gouge. That's going to be a doubled eyelid. Boom. Right there, and that's actually easy to see. It's actually pretty strong on that one. There we go. Well, that's all 50 coins. This one's actually pretty nice shape. Pretty nice shape. Let's see what's on the reverse. There's our heavy die gouge going through the RIC of America. We should have a die scratch. Oh no, that was the other one. We've got scrape marks from the feeder finger on the die. And that's what we've got. There's your die crack on the left side there. The die scratch coming straight down from the center. I think I saw one of these earlier and didn't recognize the doubled eyelid, so someone else might be getting a doubled eyelid that they didn't notice here. Because I think I saw that die scratch coming straight down in the top of the reverse. I think I saw it earlier, and I didn't pull the coin. So it looks like Levels gets 3 of the doubled eyelids. And then we've got, these are the doubled dies. There's 7 of them. So we've got Copper Kingdom, Mr. Patat, 2 for bingo, 3, 4 for bingo, and 1 for Levels of Madness. That's 7 of them. And then here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. There's 12. I pegged it. You can go back earlier in the video, and I said there will be 12 of these in this roll. I pegged it because of the number that we'd found already. We were directly through half the roll, and I'd found 6 of them. And so here's 12. Got 1 for Raymond, Wild Bill, Levels of Madness, and Vicky. So there's all of our double dies out of this one. That's a hefty number for 1 die. And then our doubled eyelids, and we may have a repunch mint mark coming out of this roll too. But here's the rest of the normal coins, which is going to be about 35 of the coins out of the roll. And there we go. You have seen the live opening of history, a 1943 San Francisco minted roll that was in a tube and had been stored in the tube for many years. The markings on this tube make me believe that it was probably placed in the tube about 10 years ago because of the price and everything written on the tube. So it's been in there for at least the last 10 years. It is an original roll, as is evidenced by the fact that we got so many of the exact same die. And there's so many repeaters. I mean, there's repeat coins, repeat coins, repeat coins. Now, the only thing I didn't like was that there was some spotting on a lot of the coins. But it's what happens. Clutter on the rim. Clutter on what rim? Which one? Well, so for those who just came to watch the roll be opened, we're done. But for anyone who wants to stick around and ask questions or chit-chat about this roll, I'm here. I'm gang. Wife is gone to work late. I've got my coffee right here. Hello, Cajun Coin Hunter. You can get in on this one. This was a good roll. I'm going to be picking out my rolls for next week coming up here in the next, I don't know, day or two. But right now, what I have sitting out on my desk is this. I've got this 1960D roll. Now, there's a little bit I need to tell you about this 1960D roll. It is an original roll. It is in its original wrapper, but this end has been opened. And it's been opened probably to flip the coin over to see what the date was on the coins. I've opened a number of these rolls, and they come out with good varieties in them every time, so this has not been searched through. So I'm gonna do this one, and then I've got a 1959D that's an original bank wrapped roll, and this one is from the Federal Reserve Bank of Kansas City, Oklahoma City branch. This one is from the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis, and then I have a 1963D roll that is it's an original roll. It doesn't have a bank name on it; it just says 50 pennies on it. It's a Brandt wrapper from Watertown, New York. And all of these come a little bit loose. You can kind of hear it, maybe. And that's just these older reddy brown wrappers, reddish brown. They come, you can hear them shaking around inside the roll. That's normal. It's these kind, the newer ones, that don't move. This thing's wrapped so tight you could, if it was gunpowder, it would explode. So you can even hear it. And these, they don't make that kind of noise because they're not so loose. But I've got those three out, and I've got other ones that I'm looking for right now. I have original 1955D rolls. I've got original 1955S rolls. I have an original 1950D. I have a few other original rolls, but I will be announcing come Tuesday at the auction, what we've got ready for the week. I have to work on getting them ready. I have to go through this. I have to get this finished, get these mailed out. I've still got the roll I did yesterday. I believe that was a 58D roll that I did yesterday. I've still got it sitting out there. Okay. What now? That's a good point to bring up. I've decided that out of fairness, it's best that I don't pre-sell any spots or sell any spots early. I want people to attend the auction. I want people to be there, and I want to do a favor to the people who are in the auction by allowing people who are in the auction to purchase the spots. Dye Brown Soda. Rolls from the teens. I don't have any uncirculated rolls from the teens, that's for sure. I have circulated rolls from the teens, but that's not really how I want to roll with this. I say that's another thing about letting people purchase spots early in these rolls. There tends to be an issue with, well, I didn't get in because I wasn't at the auction. Well, that's the only place I sell them, so you got to be there or not. And for the time being, I've got plenty of attention on this that just selling them during the auction works fine. And if you don't want to attend the entire auction, you only want to come for the end of the auction, that's fine too. The auction runs from 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday until about 10 to 10:30. So somewhere between 10 and 10:30, if you want to show up just to get in on the spots, we're going to have it's going to be like a shotgun start, because, I mean, people, Penny Parent can tell you, I tell people, okay, well, I've got a 1960D roll available for $1 a spot. Who wants them? We've got all kinds of people come into the chat. I want one, I want 10. Give me 5, give me 10. So we'll do a shotgun start on it because I don't want to raise the price. I think the price is high enough. And raising the price would only deter people and keep people from being interested anyway. I want this to be fun. I want it to be inexpensive enough that people can afford to do it. At the same time, I don't want to be unfair to anyone. Questions for Chuck can be sent to the Facebook Coppercoins page, or you can ask me questions directly, cd@coppercoins.com. Now, understand that I do get busy quite often, and I'm doing a lot of stuff a lot of time, and I don't get the ability to respond to emails immediately all the time. So I just want you to know that I'm not going to skip you, and I'm not going to forget you, and I'm looking down because my dog is sitting next to me. But I want you to know that everyone is important to me. I answer everyone's emails. I prefer not to have silly emails. If you've got something to ask, just send me an email. Wild Bill, I plan on shipping your stuff tomorrow. Because you had a spot in this roll. And so I was going to ship all of this stuff to you. There you go, right there. You had at least one spot in this roll. So this roll right here marks the end of everything that I was trying to put together for people who are not on the monthly plan. I will email it, or I will send it in the mail tomorrow morning. Check how many you have in that 43S. How many spots you purchased? I believe 2. Let me see here. Inventory for the roll reveal. Come on, computer. Computer. Show me data sorted by. Everything's kept on the computer. I couldn't possibly do this by myself. Sort it by auction ID and then by purchaser. Sort. And go down to the OBW number 15. 16. OBW 16. Vicky Cardwell. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 spots for Vicky Cardwell. Vicky Cardwell got 1 double die. And there should be 4 normal coins in here. Or 3 normal coins. Got 4 spots. There's 1. Two. Should be 1 more. Right there. There's 1 more and nothing else. You got 4 spots. You purchased 4 spots. You would build for 4 spots, I do believe. But if there's a problem, you can let me know. So here's your 4 coins. I'm going to put that in this direction because it's a double die and I've got to mark it. Hello, Detecting Daddy. See you later, Dye Brown Soda. Oh, is that what I meant? Oh, darn. Doh. Okay, we will show the double die for Vicky. This is yours, Vicky. This coin's for you. See the extra thick bottom to the 9? You have extra thickness in the bottom of the 9. You have convex outside edges to the IBE, which means they curve inward. And they're also extra thick. And you have convex, the bottom of your E kind of swoops up and points back up toward the rim. I will check for you, Maddie. That's what the double die looks like on that. And I'll get your other 3 coins, put them over here, so I've got a nice clean desk and I can work with it. Matting. Let me check for matting. Sorry, matting. No double die. I thought I got one for you. How many spots did you get in this? You got 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 spots and they're all normal coins. Sorry, brother. That didn't work out to your benefit, I don't think. But I do have to tell you that there could be die varieties in here. I have not been through these under the scope yet, so I have no idea yet. Detecting Daddy, we're doing great. I think it is a good average levels of madness. I mean, we got, that's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 die varieties out of a 50 coin roll. Somebody can come up with the percentage on that, but it looks like your chances are almost 1 in 2. It's like 1 in Oh, geez, 1 and 2.5. Thank you, Madding. I just opened the roll. Fate gives us what it gives us. Person who had 4 with 2 hits had 4 coins and got 2 hits. Let's see. Would that be Wild Bill? Yeah. Wild Bill got 2 double dice out of 4 coins. And then I believe, well, you didn't do so bad yourself, Levels of Madness. You got, looky here. This is the doubled eyelids. 3 out of 4. And there might be more of them in the roll that I didn't notice. I'll have to go back through the roll. You got 3 in there, and then you got 1, 2. You got 2 double dice, so half the coins you bought were die varieties. Well, we will be gambling some more, that's for sure, because I have no idea what's in these rolls, but we're going to find out. One way or another, we're going to find out. I've got these. I've got, I may have some 1983 Philadelphia bank wrap rolls coming. 83 Philadelphia, we know we never have a clue what's going to come on those, but there's at least 7 different double die obverses and 2 different double die reverses, with one of them being a red book listed double die reverse. We've also got clashes, counter clashes. We've got cuds. There's all kinds of things that can come out of 1983. I'm still waiting to see if I'm going to get those rolls, though. But just like Penny Parent, I think I need to go feed my face. I know I don't look like it, but I'm hungry. So I will let you guys off the hook now, and we will come back Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time for our next auction. And the t-shirt, ap@coppercoins.com. Contact Amber Panel. And you can get a t-shirt from Amber Panel. And it won't have this front on it, but we've got other fronts that can come, the breast pocket designs. And that's all I got, folks. Be well.